Oh, right. I guess I should start talking. Hello and welcome to Dead or School, episode, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, it looks like, episode 8 of Dead or School. I am post-production Ryan here, recording some, post-gameplay commentary for this episode, because somehow I recorded an hour worth of gameplay and failed to notice that my microphone was turned off the whole time, despite the fact that it glows rainbow colors. Like, how dense does one have to be to really just, make that fumble? In my defense, I was just waking up from a nap at the time and just completely overtired and a little bit overstressed out. But still, it's no actual excuse. Yeah, real, a real boner on my part, as it were. So yeah, thank you for joining me today for this episode of Dead or School. If this is your first time on the channel, I am curious as to how you ended up here. Like here specifically on this video for the first time. Put it in the comments. Let me know what drew you here and to part 8 of a series. I'd be very interested to know. And I would also recommend you start at part 1 so you know what's going on in this game. It's got a very, well, not rich story, but it certainly has a story. And some cool bosses, some fun moments in the previous episodes. It's a long watch. They're all about an hour each, maybe a little bit more. So it's definitely a bit of a commitment, but, well, in my opinion, maybe worth it. I don't know about you. Everybody's got kind of a different opinion. And yeah, so that's that. If you are returning to the channel from having watched previous videos, perhaps previous episodes in this very series, I thank you for your patronage. It's nice to see that all these videos that I post sometimes get watched. Fills me with a little bit of confidence that I'm not just completely wasting my time. Actually, I know that I'm not completely wasting my time because I enjoy doing it. It's fun for me to talk to myself while playing video games. As weird as that sounds. It's I don't know. It's strange. Sometimes I'm playing video games off camera, I'm like, man, I wish I was recording. It's just the strangest feeling. So, that's that. I guess to sum up what's going on here now is... in the last episode, I made it to this area. I cannot remember what it's called. It starts with a B. We'll see it a little bit later once there's some dialogue. Buju something or whatever. And this is like the fire area of the game. You can see there's like an active volcano in the background. That's very weird. And you got all these steam pistons acting as platforming challenges. Or perhaps obstacles to work your way around whilst trying to fight enemies. And there's some sort of goal. It was like to defeat 10,000 zombies that are below some kind of massive stadium, because they are the cause of some kind of outbreak somewhere else. But first we have to go and enable a steam piston to create a bridge to that area. So you can kind of see that over on the map there. There's like, it's separated into two halves. Like there's the green half below and the red half above. We need to activate the steam piston to get up to the red area. So I'm sure that's going to involve adventuring all over the lower portion of the map. And right now I'm just dealing with some bats. And they are terrible, as flying enemies usually are in video games. I'm trying to think of exceptions, and none are springing to mind. I guess, like, I don't know. Pokemon is an exception? But that's not really the same. I'm thinking, like, action platformer games. The flying enemies are always the worst. Actually, most of the enemies in this game are the worst. Like, look at these. There's zombies with machine guns. That's no fair. Zombies can't work machine guns. They don't have the... what is it? What is the word? Shoot. I'm gonna sit here and try to think about this for a moment. Because I need to kill time until something else happens. Dexterity. They don't have the dexterity to operate a long-distance hole puncher. At least you wouldn't think so, over them being decayed and all. But then again, these monsters are also not actually zombies, they're mutants. So I suppose they could still have full function in their hands and fingers. But I am skeptical. Very, very skeptical indeed. Got rid of those bees without too much of a hassle, or... I don't know, really they look more like larvae with wings than any specific kind of bug to me. I think I was calling them mosquitoes in a previous episode. They're really just more like generic bugs. Yeah, like, you look at the big one, you can see a little bit better what it's supposed to look like, and... I don't know, it's like more of a giant isopod with wings. But also not enough legs. It's just got the two, like, front... like, pincer-type arms, and then a couple small ones in the back. It's very strange. As if it's an artistic choice for a bug. And I'm just doing terrible at handling these ones here. Trying to machine gun them. Even though, like, the aiming in this game is a little bit wonky, and there's no lock-on feature. Which, honestly, now looking back on it, the lock-on feature in Mega Man X Dive, which played very similar to this game, was a lifesaver. I don't think I would have stuck with that game quite as long as if it didn't have the lock-on feature, because, man, that was helpful. And only do I realize it now that I'm playing a game without such a feature. Oh, look at me. I left that frog alive. I guess I decided that he wasn't a threat to anyone. Usually I kill all the enemies, because you gotta get those experience points, you know? And they all drop stuff. You get the cash, perhaps, like, some loot. Oh, and if you'll notice, I didn't notice when I was playing. Right below me here, it says that I have a skill point waiting to be spent. Why am I not spending that skill point? Tisk, tisk, past Ryan. Tisk, tisk. You could have some sort of advantage right now. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, and when I fell into here, originally, I thought it said turbo engine room, which sounded really cool, but then I realized it was the turbine engine room. Not as cool, obviously. But it makes a lot more sense. Oh, I didn't... Oh, I missed what he said. If we can't stop this, we can't even go near Akihabara. So, I'm not sure what he's talking about there. It just kind of skipped past the first line of dialogue. I was very confused when I played through it originally, and this time I was able to see what really happened. I had ventured a guess before, but I wasn't too sure. I think probably most of the first half of this video is just a lot of this. A lot of repetitive combat scenarios. But there are some interesting little things in this episode that that mix it up a bit. I'm not gonna spoil anything. But if you have watched the previous episodes, if you've been watching everything up until this point, you know that this game does have puzzles. And there aren't really any puzzles per se, but there are some rooms with some unique features, let's say. And they made me happy. These little dynamite guys are terrible too. Not because they're especially dangerous or anything, but because they're super annoying. The cannons are basically harmless. Really, the worst thing they do is explode after you kill them. And they, you know, blink and make the sound for a good long time before they go off, so you have plenty of time to get away. I almost thought I was going to get caught there. Good on me. And this dude is just a wall of flesh, and it hits me on the backswing. I lose a portion of my clothing. That's okay. I actually have some abilities set up so that I get healed a bit when that happens. So it's not the end of the world. Plus, you also get an attack and defense buff. So it's actually kind of a good thing to have the torn clothes, which is nice. And it's not just like a pervert thing. Which, you know, I haven't really played many games at all that have clothes-tearing mechanics. I think Fire Emblem Warriors is the only one. It's the only one I can think of, anyway. And I don't believe you get any buffs for getting your clothes torn in that game. It is just entirely perversion. So, that's too bad. And that was added in an update at some point. Which is like, dude, you just made this game so much less enjoyable. Why? Come on, Nintendo, do better. But, that's the Fire Emblem target demographic, I guess. The, sad, lonely weebs. I'm sorry if that's you, but, you know, gotta call a spade a spade. I do like Fire Emblem to some degree, but it's, like, not one of the Nintendo franchises that I've spent very much time with. It's no Super Mario, you know? And honestly, I'd rather play Advance Wars. Just Fire Emblem, I don't know, it doesn't really do it for me. I think I played Warriors more than I played any of the actual Fire Emblem games combined. Look at this guy. It's a big cannon. He's just as harmless as the other little ones. Except he's got a couple of dynamites hiding under his crotch there. Out to cause trouble. Give me headaches. See, there's a treasure chest below me. And, you know, having some experience with platformers, it was easy to tell you just gotta hop underneath there to pick it up. But it didn't get collected off the map. And also, I don't know if Hisako can really make that jump back up. It's kind of an awkward one. I think you probably could, if you're, like, good at, you know, pixel-perfect timing. I'm not, particularly. Yeah, see, now I'm getting confused. Like, I picked up the treasure box, why isn't it off the map? What do I do? Where do I go? Oh, actually, I think I'm turning around to go hit the save point that's in the next room over here. Because, my life is in a bad way. Yeah, we got about 45 more minutes of this, folks. Not that my live commentary is especially better, but man, trying to come up with like a play-by-play afterward is just, it's painful for me, but I feel like I have to do it because I'm not just going to sit there with a muted camera, or I'm not going to upload a video that has like my face here, but no words coming out of it, you know? Maybe if I just sat there stone-faced and didn't say anything the whole session, that could be kind of funny. Maybe I'll do that at some point, just to confuse... Oh, that'd be a good April Fool's video! Yes, 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 I think I'm gonna do that. And nobody will be spoiled, because nobody is watching this. Actually, with the upload schedule I have currently devised, this is going to go live after April Fool's anyway. So, 2025. Of course, it's going to be before all the subsequent April Fool's days. I keep forgetting, like, you put something on the internet, it's there forever. And, you know, dating it doesn't really mean a lot. And she bounces to her doom. That's awesome. I think yeah, I'm about to eat dirt here. Not from this guy, but you'll see. Things go real pear-shaped real quick. Hello, large explodey man. How would you... Ah! Huh. It's interesting. She didn't take any fall damage from that. I guess if your health is low enough, you don't take fall damage? I don't know. Bujutsukan. That's the area. And I'm looking at the shop here. What do they got on sale? Missile pods. And, I think I said, alright, I'm in a new area. There's probably a new rank of items, but no new swords. We do have some latest launchers, I guess. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm like, oh, it's not as good as my Hellfire, but Hellfire also kind of sucks. And it's like, yeah, screw the Hellfire. I'm going to go with something else. I'm going to go with Power Launcher. And look, it has a 9% experience gain buff, which is amazing. I mean, not amazing, but it's really nice. Gain those levels faster, get those skill points, become stronger. And one day I will start playing with the little add-on abilities again. But, man, there are so many to parse through. It's just, it's more of a headache than anything. And I get that that's the appeal, kind of this like RPG system, but oof. Having to look through that many options is just, it feels more like homework to me. So I have a hard time actually doing it, going in and min-maxing my equipment. Am I going to switch to the flamethrower again? I don't think I am. Am I? I'm sitting here, I'm mulling it over. Not sure what to do. Just double check the swords, make sure there are no new ones. Oh. Oh yeah, here, I realized I got the skill point. Oh, and I get a really good skill here. Look at this. When life becomes 0, it gets restored once. So you get a revive. Only 5% of your health. But hey, you get a second chance. And that's like 5% is way better than just being dead. So that was a big win right there, using that skill point. I could have survived that battle if I had remembered it was there and used it beforehand. Oh well, live and learn, as they say. And this time around, I'm gonna hang a Larry at the train station and then go down and around to unlock that door that I came to the other time. That did not allow me to go through, so that I couldn't actually make it to the save. Or, yeah, the save station, whatever it is. I think at this point I'm lamenting that it's a save station, but it doesn't really create a checkpoint for you. It just, you can save your game and continue from there. But if you die, you have to go back to the train station. Which I do feel like is a load of bunk. I don't particularly appreciate that feature. But it is what it is. And I don't know, maybe if you could continue from whatever your last save station was, it would make the game a little more easy than it needs to be. But I'd still like it. just for the sake of convenience, really. And you know what? I'm just realizing I don't need to have my headphones on. I'm not really listening to what's happening here. It's just roar, and so on and so forth. I can just kick back in the silence, listen to myself think as I watch what's going on. And here, I kind of got the idea that, oh, well, maybe I can just let some of these zombies walk into the laser wires and kill themselves. But we'll learn very quickly that that's not really going to work as well as I would like it to. Which, I don't know, seems to be the theme of this game. Here I am, getting a little annoyed at this shield guy. Being hard to hit, because there's this other guy on the other side. He just keeps shooting at me while I'm trying to deal with the other one. It's like, man, their team synergy is just way too strong. God, what a pain in the butt. Oh yeah, look at these guys. They're gonna go, and they're gonna take like 9 damage for hitting the laser fence. And so, oh well, this is gonna take forever. I'm gonna go help them out. And then I slice them to pieces. Itty little bits. I think I might be actually holding the microphone a little bit too close to my face now. And making the audio bad. I am not totally sure. I'm leaning back, so I brought it up a little closer than having it sit on the desk like that. I don't know if it's better, worse, negligible, no difference, you know? I just don't really have much to say about what's happening right now. So I'm thinking that, like, in these sections where you can see how many enemies are left in the bottom right corner, these encounters, I believe, are the ones that don't repeat. If enemies pop up on the screen, but you don't get that kind of HUD element showing up, then they'll come back every time you use the save station and return to that area. But these ones, I think, are one-time battles. So if I walked through this area again, I wouldn't have to fight all these guys again. There might be a few of them, but not the whole group. Or at least it wouldn't lock you in place until you've killed them all. Something like that. I haven't quite figured out entirely how this game works mechanically yet. It doesn't really matter. It's just like enemies pop on the screen, I murder them, I complain about how annoying they were, and, you know, rinse and repeat. I heard that Bujutsukan was known as the home of something called music, but now all we hear is mutants and human screams. I guess people from the old days wouldn't call that music. Hee hee. Thanks for that incredible insight, Jin the music lover. Apparently I'm close to the next level. And there's a new foe here. Creepy. Look at them, crawling up on the ceiling. So weird. I likened it to the snake-looking enemies in Doom Eternal. And then complained about how hard Doom Eternal is. And, you know, in fairness, I think it is hard enough that it's complaint-worthy. Because I played that game on easy mode, and I still had trouble with it. Which, you know, I don't play a lot of first-person shooters, so maybe that was the problem. But, yeah, on easy, yeah. Shouldn't have that much trouble. Like, it was a fight, just to make it to the end of the game. Never mind, like, find all the secrets or anything like that. I really liked Doom 2016. Or, I think that was the year, anyway. Like, the Doom reboot. / sequel, whatever. But, Eternal was just, it was so much harder. It was not nearly as much fun for me. And I didn't even consider picking up the DLC because I knew it was just going to be harder. And it's like, nah. I like what you've done here, but it's too intense and not fun. So, pass. This game, on the other hand, has, like, perfect difficulty balance, at least on normal mode, which I am playing on at this very moment. I think easy would have been, like, too easy, and then hard probably would have been frustrating. I'm not sure what difference the difficulty levels make, but I'm thinking that the enemy's HP and attack power scales, and probably not much else. Most developers, I don't think, put very much, if any, thought into their difficulty levels and what separates them. But it's nice when they do. When, like, I don't know, it makes, like, a difference other than numbers. I can see why, you know, you wouldn't, though, because that's a lot more work. And who wants to put in work? Oh, here we are getting to one of our first, I don't know, event rooms, I guess we'd call it. Where Hisako is going to ride this piece of rock down the lava river. And, you know, you got the obstacles to jump over, you got the red rocks that you gotta... I was shooting them. I assume you probably could sword them to death also, but that seems like more risky than anything. So, I opted for gun. Seemed like the best way to do it. This is also a very long room. I thought it was going to be short, but... I guess... No, this isn't the end. Not yet. Not quite. Almost there. I would say this room was about twice as long as I expected it to be when I realized what it was. But that's okay. I had fun. It's, like I would have said in the live commentary, it's a nice way to break up the pacing of the game. So you're not just running back and forth and shooting enemies in different rooms over and over and over again. That is 90% of what you do. So it's good to have these little fun rooms. Okay, this is a belt used in Japanese martial arts, such as karate and judo. Its color signifies a martial artist's level, and those at higher levels wear black belts. The color actually depends on the types of martial arts and their schools, but in general, beginners wear white belts, and those at higher levels wear black belts. Beginners in martial arts aim for winning black belts. So, pretty much just saying the same thing 3 times in varying levels of complexity. Yeah, and now that this little side adventure is over, I'm finally going to run back this way and get back to the area that I had been in previously and got killed in. So we'll be back there very shortly now. Nearing the half-hour mark. We're actually, we're actually about halfway through because this video was, where'd it go? I didn't realize minimizing the window would make it go away. Oops. Sorry about that. My error. I don't have to do this all that often, so I'm not familiar with the nuances of it. I think I make this error where I forget to turn on my microphone like once a year, and let's hope it stays that way. Although in 2021, when I was doing my Zelda series playthrough and I lost audio for one episode of Twilight Princess, I did record properly. It just, the recording kind of screwed up and the audio was all completely unusable. So I had to re-record my commentary for, well, not re-record, but record new commentary to go along with that. And then I think that was the final episode too, which was terrible because all the music got screwed up and it had some of the best music at the end of that game. Like Hyrule Castle has a just chef's kiss theme. And the ending theme is really good. Like the credits theme is excellent also. I think I actually just downloaded that credits theme and dropped it in there just so you could hear it properly. I don't remember. That was like 3 years ago now. Man, how time flies. Probably, actually, Twilight Princess. Where is that in the pantheon of Zeldas. What would have come after it? Skyward Sword? Link Between Worlds? And Breath of the Wild? So, yeah. Yeah, it was probably around this, maybe a little bit earlier in the year, in 2021, that I had to do this for that particular episode. And, I'm trying to remember which other ones. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Here, I've realized I have a skill point, and I'm trying to decide what to buy. I'm thinking, oh yeah, like these skill trees, they all have one really cool thing at the top, and then the sword one is actually a little bit disappointing. But you have to get to level 25 in all of them to earn that skill, so it's going to be a long road before I even have to think about it. I guess if I had invested all my skill points into one tree, I could have had one of them by now. So, oops. But buffing my revive power, I think, was the right move. And I'll probably do it again next time I get a level up. I don't think that happens in this video, but I'm pretty sure that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to max out that ability before I start leveling up anything else. Just to give myself a little bit of a leg up against the competition. Because me, personally, I think survivability... Well, not that I think. In my opinion, I like to... What am I trying to say? How I usually build characters in games that allow you to do so is for survivability before anything. Like, I'll always put my points into, like, defense skills before I start doing anything offensive, because for me, a good defense is the best offense. Or maybe vice versa. Something like that. I don't know. That's just how I like to play. I play it safe, you know. That's how I play life too. I'm not a gambler. I'm not a risk taker. I don't like things that come down to luck or chance. I like to have, you know, as much control as I can over my fate, because, you know, we don't have very much control over our fates, even if we think we do. So every little bit counts. The world is just so chaotic. You never know what's going to happen next, even if you've plotted everything out to the second. Oh, and look at that. I just dive right off the side like an idiot there. Couldn't have seen that one coming. And then this guy's pissing me off. Stupid dynamite. Yeah. Get dead, you jerk. Why didn't I finish off that mutant gun? I keep thinking it says machine gun. Oh, yeah, and the big guy dunked himself. That was awesome. That was a nice little freebie right there. And then you have to deal with these jerks. Luckily, I had equipped a much better rocket launcher. That old one that just leaves like a little ball of fire that does damage over time, that one sucked. It was ass, to put it plainly. And this little conglomeration of enemies was definitely not making me happy. Like, how do I get through there? There's too many goddamn projectiles. Which I think is probably going to be a running theme for most of the rest of this video. Maybe the rest of this game. Hurry. Ooh. You see that vending machine that was up on that ledge there? Like, I don't know, 30 seconds ago? We won't see that until almost the very end of the video here. So in about 20 minutes. 20 more minutes of me trying to narrate what's happening on screen and or telling stories about other things. What do you prefer? Do you prefer me, like, trying to do a play-by-play of the gameplay? Or would you rather me just ramble about random nonsense? Leave it down in the comments what you think. I don't expect to actually get any comments, but if someone's watching and cares, you know, fill me in. It's not really going to probably change much in the grand scheme of things, but I'd be interested in knowing what my audience thinks. I like to listen to people and their opinions. Just because I don't always agree doesn't mean I don't want to listen and hear what you have to think. Or what you think and what you have to say. I totally didn't see those creepy guys up on the ceiling. They could have got me. They didn't. They remained inactive. And then I see this one and I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. Stupid creepy. Doesn't even fight back. What a douche. I guess maybe that monster was just trying to live its life. And then I murdered it in cold blood. Oops. Oh well. And here I'm thinking, oh, well, if I ride this piston, will it, like, propel me up to the next ledge? And I was a little surprised and disappointed that it didn't. It seems like a very video gamey thing to have happen. Careful. Don't run into that exploding cannon. Isako, don't push yourself too hard. Your life is low. Oh, yeah, easy for you to say, off in the safety of the train station. You're not the one risking life and limb to get exploded. I really wasn't able to deduce whether stepping in the puddle of green that those guys leave behind is damaging at all. Best case scenario, I never have to find out. Oh, and this part. This had me clenching pretty hard. Like, oh, get out of here! Don't get crushed, but also don't get exploded. You only have 30 HP left. That's not enough. 29, but yeah, I round it up. What can I say? I'm an accountant. I like to round up. Or down, as the situation demands. Especially when Excel likes to just randomly throw in a tiny fraction and throw off your number. It's like, god damn it, Excel, why? Why do you need to put in a 6 at, like, 4 decimal points for no reason when I'm just doing, like, 2 plus 2? I don't understand it, but it's a thing that Excel does, and it pisses me off. So I always have to add a rounding formula into basically everything I do, just to make sure. Makes everything so much more complicated than it needs to be. But that's life. Oh, here's another. You know, I feel like it's a stretch to call it a puzzle, but I guess I don't know what else you would call it. A challenge, a mini game. It takes me a little bit to figure it out how it works, but once I get it, it's solved quite quickly. Yeah, there's one zombie smooshed. Sadly, it actually takes me longer to figure out how to earn the prize than it does to figure out how to solve the room. Which is sad to me, probably hilarious for you when you see what happens. I'll move this so that I activate piston number 3. And then there's just that guy hanging out by piston number 2 that we've got to get rid of. And smooshed. Alright, and here comes the prize. And, oh. Well, I don't seem to be able to jump to it. And the lever doesn't do anything. How would one acquire this item? It is totally beyond me. Maybe if I hit piston number 0. Maybe if I withdraw all the pistons, the final one will withdraw as well. I'm gonna spoil it. That's not how it works. I think this is where I have my little brain... what is it called? One of my old bosses used to say something like a brain shock or something when she had like a moment of clarity. Souvenir obtained. A huge onion, or not. It's actually an ornament for buildings, and is called onion-shaped ornament. Of course, it's not edible. It's a traditional ornament for buildings. Since it's known to have magical powers of a good luck charm, it was placed at the top of the Bujutsukan rooftop. It's been widely referred to as an onion across Japan ever since a famous Japanese musician called it a big onion in a song. Yes. What a lovely educational thing that was. Learning about history and architecture and culture all in one. Just lovely. And then I tried to fire a rocket into these guys to get rid of them quickly, and my timing was off, so it just hit the wall. And I look like a complete buffoon. So, status quo has not changed. Ga 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 ga. I think it's really cool, that little ga 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 effect when you're shooting the machine gun, but is that really the onomatopoeia that the Japanese have for firing a gun? Oh look, the other new enemy, Cocoon. Yeah, not really a new enemy, but it's a new thing to murder. Doesn't do a whole lot, except shoot out pods and then spawn other enemies. So you could say it's more of an impediment to killing the actual things that are requiring killage. Damn, that was a bad sentence. And this guy gives me a nice big wallop. But that's the end of that problem. It's time to go save another person. Yahoo! And of course, the best way, the Donkey Kong Country style minecart ride. So again, not really a puzzle, but a fun little minigame that breaks up the normal gameplay loop. Which I'm very thankful for. And this is actually a pretty fun one. I hope there are more of these later in the game, but at this point, I'm not really expecting to see this again, which is too bad, but it is what it is. I don't know how she's exploding those concrete barricades with a machine gun, but hey, you know what? If you can make it work, Hisako, then power to ya. I was feeling a little clenchy through that area. Overall, though, it was a pretty easy section to overcome. And we meet this guy. Help me, there's so many mutants I can't move. You're alright now, I've killed all that's nearby. Phew! Aw, you must be more of a coward than you seem. I don't like combats. Besides, physical strength is not what humans need most. I hate to contradict you, but without strength, death is the only thing waiting for us. Just like it was with you right now. Gah! He's right, you know. At least you should carry a launcher and pistol. Even girls like her need to fight. What kind of world are we living in? Don't you see that we need more than just physical strength, precisely because of the rotten world we live in? Like food? No! I mean, food is certainly important too, but... what could it then? Music! Music? This Bujutsukan is the holy land of music. I've heard that before the war there were so many musicians having concerts here. Unfortunately, now it's a gathering place for mutants. It's full house. Competition over resources and threats of mutants. All people can think about is survival, and there's no room in their minds for anything else. That's why I want to cheer up everyone through music. And then, eventually, I'll get to the surface and tour across the nation. And I'll lead everyone to the surface with my passionate guitar tunes. Underground is not the stage for humans. We are destined to live on the surface, and with the help of my music, people will come to realize that. You mean to say that you're heading for the surface too? Yep, I am. You don't seem like the fighter type, but I can feel more than enough passion in what you just said. Your motivation is so noble, and your determination so rare, to mobilize people by music, not arms. Hisako, I'm ready to have your back with the passion of my guitar music if you're serious about getting out to the surface. Here's a prelude to our journey ahead. It's called Road to the Ground, honoring our determination. A music-loving boy living at Bujutsukan Station. He admires the legendary guitarist who's known to have saved Bujutsukan a long time ago. He himself aspires to give people courage with his music. He plays an electric guitar he found somewhere and forces his neighbors into listening to his singing. To avoid attracting mutants' attention, he plays humbly without an amplifier. He's not a professional musician, but his positive attitude expressed in his music moves and helps people to keep on living, despite their hopeless underground surroundings. And this is the part in the recording where I realized that I did not have a microphone enabled. I was like, oh frig, what am I gonna do? I thought about just turning it on at this point and then like only re-recording over top for however long, but I figured, yeah, you know what, it's gonna be easier probably just to talk over the whole thing. So here I am, talking over the whole thing. Like a dummy. The good news is, we're getting close to the end here. Closing in on this final survivor. Just a little bit over to the left. I think there's like one more encounter between... No, maybe two. Two more encounters, I'm going to say, between here and there. And then from that point on, it's just down to the save station and the end of the episode. So we're getting close. We're getting close, viewers. You're almost through the looking glass and back to reality, which is properly recorded commentary. Oi. Get that loot. Get the loot. Good job. Good job, past me. You did it. Oh yeah, there's an encounter here. This guy really caught me off guard. Especially since this stupid lady is in the way of the little one. I didn't even notice... Well, I guess I noticed he was there, but... Couldn't really see what he was doing, and got for it. Maybe not got, exactly. But injured. Lost my clothes. Or a portion of them. Yeah, I don't see myself really playing any games where you lose your clothes completely. At least not in any sort of public way. Just smacked my microphone there. Like a real smart Jim. That's a term I just made up on the spot there. Smart Jim. Someone's probably said it in human history at some point. But I've never heard it before. A golden chest. It's full of money. And one of the monies gets lost in the floor, which is a tragedy. A tragedy of the highest order. Right up there with infant candy theft. And by that, of course, I mean when a baby steals your candy. You can steal candy from babies, that's fine. They have it coming. You know, I really don't need your tips. Whatever your name is. I can't remember what her name is. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, when she pops up and starts obscuring part of the screen, I really don't like it. Especially when you've got like one hit left in you. Like this guy, if I did something wrong, I think he could one-shot me. He's got that aura, so I think he's stronger than a regular mutant. There was a tutorial about it at some point, like 6 episodes ago, but I've long since forgotten. I guess I could look it up in the menu. They're all there. All the tutorial messages. But it's fine. Look, I made it through. No problem. Mutant fat is pretty easy to deal with. I think the distress signal was coming from around here. Uh-oh. It's a corpse. Oh no. Were we too late? Who are you? I'm a martial artist living at Bujutsukan Station. A martial artist? Apparently, Bujutsukan used to host music festivals, whatever that means. But initially, Bujutsukan was a venue for martial arts competitions. I am a student of authentic underground karate, which inherited the traditions of martial arts. But my fellow students, all the students of authentic underground karate, all of them perished in the hands of mutants in their outbreak here. The corpse lying below you was one of my fellow students, too. I wish to avenge my fellows. I want to get out to the surface and destroy all mutants there. To rid the world of all mutants once and for all. That's my wish. To mourn and avenge the deaths of my fellow students of authentic underground karate. So you're heading to the surface too? Yes, I am. I'm on my way to the surface to wipe out all mutants up there that keep us locked down underground. Your looks are certainly deceiving. I mean, you look so empty-headed. But Hisako, I see now how determined you are about what you're doing. I shall join your quest to bring an end to all mutants. Together! Great! Let's! Yes! And, when we succeed, let's build a dojo for authentic underground karate and do all we can to develop this wonderful martial art. A dojo? It's not a dojo that I want to build, it's a school. A confident girl living at Bujutsukan Station, participating in a mutant punishment squad on a regular basis. She's an underground karate fighter. It's been over 70 years since the war, and much of the surface culture has been forgotten and lost underground, including traditional Japanese martial arts. She decides to join Hisako with a determination to revive karate someday. What a noble ambition. Let's hop very carefully to get this box, and then hop very carefully to... Whoops, missed that ledge. And then check out the store. Hem and haw for a moment, but then buy a chainsaw that I'll never use, probably, and sell it for like 1/3 of the price at best. Yeah, we're gonna buy a chainsaw. Let's go. Come on. Cha-ching! I figured, you know what, this is like a special vending machine, might as well pick up the thing in it. I don't know if those refresh, it's been a while. I think that's like the second special vending machine I've seen in total. Do I die here or do I make it? I think I make it because I just run past all these dudes. Ow, took some bullets to the face. Great. Good thing Hisako is made of, like, titanium. Not too fast, you're gonna get blowed up. Look out for fireballs. Oh, careful. Very careful. 13 health points left. Or hit points, whatever it means. I'm too old, I don't know anymore. Oh no, a creeper! Run! Run, Hisako! Oh, thank goodness, I made it to the save point. And so with that, we finally reached the end of this very, very painful episode of me having to record commentary in post-production. So, I hope that wasn't as bad for you as it was for me. That said, though, thank you very much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.